We're back in the win column over here. Thanks for joining us. Season finale of Ed2Shed here for the pay-per-view UFC 276. We got Adesanya taking on Jared Cannonier. You looking forward to this main event, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this main event since Izzy basically announced to himself the last time that Izzy and Cannonier fought in the same night back in the winter there.
We got minus 500 Adesanya. He's about even money to win the fight by decision. But then we got that puncher's chance in Jared Cannonier.
We'll have a look at the gambling breakdown a little bit later on there.
Episode 17.5, we took a closer look at this main event. If you really want the nitty-gritty and the opinion of Mr. Manuel, we had him on the show as well, so you can check that one out.
Thanks for hopping on the show, Manuel. But for now, let's hop into the draft.
That's right, $5 picks. I managed to get 5 picks right and 1 pick wrong for a net gain of $20. Steve, you went negative, handed me another $10. I'm up $30 this week, almost just hauling back your lead now. It's just a $35 lead on your end.
Just a little bit. You know, we always do break even in the end there, so I expect either to lose this one by 7 or Shed Gang always comes back strong after losing to the Ed there, so I'm either going to get it all back or lose everything that I got.
Now, about this event, Gamrot won the last 3 rounds of this fight. If it was a 3-rounder, I would say Sarukian would have taken it, but Gamrot really just grinded it out, and Sarukian looked like he faded a little bit in the middle of that fight.
Yeah, lost it for me in the draft, won it for me in the gambling picks.
This week, first pick overall, as you may know, is Adesanya. First pick for you is Sugar Sean O'Malley. Couple of hype trains riding in first. Adesanya, O'Malley, first off. And are you running a parlay with these two this week?
I am. I really like these two guys. Of course, just like everybody else, I think they're going to win. So we're going to get some value on the odds, the 1.2, the 1.28, and we're going to parlay them together.
I like it. Second pick, I grabbed Andre Muniz, and then you grabbed Jessica Rose Clark. I was looking forward to getting her. She was actually a heavier favorite, like something in the minus 200 range, but now it's tightened up a bit. She's only about minus 160.
Yeah, this was given me by Smelly here, so this is a Smelly pick of the week. I wasn't really comfortable taking a lot of these guys that we see in that gap there, the 136 to 156, so I jumped all the way down and took Jessica Rose Clark.
We've been fading Cowboy for 2 episodes. Let's make it a third. And then you grab the champion Volkanovski in that co-main slot. Going to go 3-0 against Holloway, you're saying?
Yeah, I really do think so. Volkanovski is probably going to win again. Max Holloway has got heart. He's got a lot of skill. He's going to box him around for five rounds. It should be an even battle for those 5 rounds. Volkanovski's probably going to be game planning it. Maybe he's going to look into squeezing some takedowns, score points that way, and take this one by decision in the end there.
I think the path for Max is not going to be by decision. After losing 2 by decision, he has a chance if he can land a couple of punches in a row. We saw him take out Anthony Pettis. If he can do something similar to Volk, I think that's his only path to victory. I don't think he's going to squeeze a decision. Next pick, I grabbed Brian Barberena, mostly fading Robbie Lawler, and you took Ian Gary.
I did take Ian Gary. Ian Gary's on a bit of a hype train there. Undefeated so far, just kind of making his way up through the rankings there. But Gabriel Green is kind of getting to maybe where you might see a little bit of trouble. Gabriel Green's probably the most talented fighter that he's fought so far. I think maybe there's some chance that he puts some brakes on the hype train there. But I like him in the 4th round pick of the draft.
I'm low-key fading Ian Gary. I don't think there's an Ian Gary hype train. I'm not trying to make an Ian Gary hype train happen. I'm low-key fading Ian Gary. Going 2 dogs in a row on my end. I'm grabbing Brad Tavares against Duplessis. And then you grabbed Macy Barber over Jessica Ai at that 125-pound flyweight division.
Yeah, not super confident in Macy Barber at the 136 price range, so I didn't take her early on there. Jessica Ai, I have no confidence in her either. This one's kind of a pick-em here. I'll lean towards the odds, and I'll just take Macy Barber with this one.
I think the odds are really tricky this week. We can obviously see the Israel Sean O'Malley hype trains are cruising along. The lines are juiced on those fights. But everything else is a bit trickier. A lot of mixed records. Rose Clark and Storyalenko don't have great records. Rose Clark, her pro record's 11-7. Storyalenko's on a 3-loss streak. Jessica Ai is on a 3-loss streak. There's not a ton of momentum throughout this card. Some intriguing matchups, some fun bets, but I wouldn't say there's a lot of momentum. Definitely a lot of name recognition, though.
Yeah, a lot of name recognition for sure.
Next up, you grab Jalen Turner. I grab Sean Strickland. Sean can jab his way to victory, as we saw. We were hyping him up since episode 1. Can he do it against Bejeda? Is Strickland going to jab up Bejeda? Is Strickland going to manage distance? People always joking online. Look at the way Sean managed the distance, bro. Sean can manage distance. We're going to see if he does it against Bejeda. And you grab Jalen Turner going up against Brad Riddell. Any reason you went Turner over Riddell?
I'm definitely on the Jalen Turner hype train on this one here. His last 4 wins, I believe, are finishes. His last 2 out of 3 wins have been subs. He's getting round 1, round 2 finishes, and he needs to be stepping up the competition there. Brad Riddell, very talented fighter, but Jalen Turner, the Tarantula, 6'3" in the lightweight division. He's a very tough opponent to game plan for. He's got a lot of leverage. He's got a lot of power. He's going to strike you when you think he's out of range. Not used to it for, I believe there's something like a 6-inch height difference in this battle there. Just going to go Jalen Turner on this one here and ride on the hype train.
You mentioned a really good point. If a guy's taller, if he's got more reach, that plays a big factor in the fight because you can hit a guy without getting hit.
Yeah, especially after doing some breaks there as well. One fighter might think that they're out of range, go start to recover, and Jalen Turner is going to be coming in and still jabbing from a distance. He sets up the body kick a lot too, uses the body kick, uses his kicks, a lot of range, use it all effectively.
And that's it. That's the draft for this week. You want to take a look at the card?
Let's have a look at the card.
First up, we got 3 nerd limbs I'm really looking forward to. A lot of really fun matchups. We got the Storyalenko-Rose Clark fight. We got Jessica I, Macy Barber. And we got Andre Muniz, Uriah Hall. Andre Muniz is coming in hot. He is 4-0 in the UFC. 3 of those are submissions. I'd maybe sprinkle a little on Muniz by submission for a spicy pick, but the market has caught up with him. Minus 285 against a guy like Uriah Hall, who's top 10 in that 185-pound division. I'm hoping Rose Clark could bounce back against Storyalenko. Storyalenko's on a skid streak. I think they're kind of giving her a layup fight to get her back in the W column, but we're going to see what happens with that one. And Macy Barber, Jessica I. I'm going to guess that Macy Barber starts throwing hooks and starts rushing a little bit towards Jessica to try to frustrate her, overwhelm her, and get her backed into that cage. Maybe a lot of clinch work that doesn't go anywhere just to set up some elbows, break, and just pressure. I think Macy Barber could carry the momentum and overwhelm Jessica I during that fight.
I think so too.
Muniz Hall, intriguing matchup. We'll see how that one plays out. We got 4 fights on the prelim card, including a Donald Cerrone, Jim Miller matchup, one of the most experienced bouts in history, something like 78 fights combined between the two in the organization. I think Tavares will get it done. I like Jim Miller. I don't like Ian Gary, and I don't like the top matchup. So you ended up grabbing the Ian Gary and the Jalen Turner pick, and I grabbed the Jim Miller and the Tavares pick.
Thank you for those. I am actually pretty excited for the Ian Gary and Gabriel Green fight there. Ian Gary seems to have a lot of hype on him. He's trying to say he's the next Conor McGregor. They're both Irish. That was pretty much the only thing that I think they had in common. I am still actually looking forward to the Ian Gary and Gabriel Green fight. Even though I have Gary in the draft, I have Gabriel Green. I like the plus 150 or plus 135 is where I grabbed him. Gabriel Green is going to put some brakes on the imaginary Ian Gary hype train there. Jalen Turner on a very real one. Really looking forward to his next fight there at 155. He's been a monster since he dropped down to 155 from 170, winning 4 out of his last 5, I believe.
Haven't seen a lot out of Turner. His record's pretty solid. Let's see if the Tarantula can get in there and take out Riddell. Main card, baby. Let's go. Sugar Sean opening the pay-per-view. Nothing quite like it.
Excited to see Sean O'Malley back in the octagon again.
This discrepancy is silly. You want to talk about Dana White privilege. O'Malley, 7-1 in the UFC. Pedro, 1-4 in his last 5. O'Malley's number 13. Pedro's number 9. I don't know, man.
They're just pushing him into the top 10 just so they can market him a little bit better, probably. He'll be back around come Christmas or early next year.
I think that what he's doing is great. He probably needed a couple of years. He's quite young. Sean O'Malley is 7-1 in the UFC. He's 27 years old. Anderson Silva was 31 years old before his UFC debut. So I think there's nothing wrong with him taking his time. He's already worked his way into many pay-per-view appearances. I took Barberena and I took Strickland. Slightly different stories. Barberena at plus 100, I'm expecting some action. Strickland at minus 110, I'm expecting a more measured, calculated fight.
Yeah, you can see the odds moved a bit on Pereira and Strickland. Pure pick 'em there now, instead of the odds leaning towards Pereira's side. I think this is a good adjustment because I think Sean Strickland's going to win this fight as well.
To me, it seems like they gave Pereira a guy who could kind of wrestle for his last one, and he did takedown defense. Now they're trying to give him Sean Strickland, a guy who can jab and manage some striking to maybe make the case he's next in line if he could take those two out. And Sean's number 4. That's contender territory.
Yeah, absolutely. Instantly up in the top 5 if he can beat Sean Strickland here. And I think that's what they want.
I also think it's a load of crap. Pereira is going to get beat back. Sean Strickland is the real deal. Sean Strickland, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Then we got the co-main and the main. Manuel likes Volkanovski to go long. So do I.
Yeah, and so do I.
Manuel likes Izzy short. I like Izzy long.
I think Izzy's probably going to take it long as well. He's going to fight more towards his game as opposed to Jared's game. Jared's a very patient fighter. Izzy is going to have the pressure, but probably will be managing range a lot with kicks. So I like Izzy to kind of go long as well.
Looking forward to both of these fights. Super high-profile event. This is going to sell a lot of units, I think.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of juice on this card. So if you're someone that plays with multiple books, be sure to be checking both ways. There's a lot of discrepancies, a lot of money flowing on a lot of different sides. So just be sure to check out all different books that are available to you.
I've seen Izzy Adesanya at like minus 340, seen him at minus 500 some other places. Shop around, get your value. If you're trying to buy Jared Cannonier, get him somewhere where Izzy's at minus 500.
Absolutely. Try and blow out those odds. Beat the books.
Speaking of beating the books, let's take a look at your picks. You're rocking 4 parlays this week. You got a KO prop in there, and then you got a couple of even money picks with the Turner, the Strickland, the Barberena.
Yeah, got a mixed bag of tricks here. After being up plus 5.5 units there last week, we're back at it again with some in-depth, random old picks. See where we can find some value on this juiced up card here. So right off the hop, we think that Adesanya, O'Malley are going to win. So let's just take those and beat the odds there with the 1.61 value. Jessica Rose Clark, I like her to beat up on Storyolenko. So I'll take her at the 1.61 as well for 1.64 units to pay out 264. So that's a profit of 1 unit there on that bet. Going down to Jalen Turner, riding that hype train, take him at the 1.71 price mark here. So I'm going to put down 1.4 units to pay out 2.4 units. We're going to take Sean Strickland over Pereira. So this one moved a little bit since the draft. So I can find him at 1.95 on one of the books. So that's where I'll take him for 1.05 units there. Looking around, wasn't really sure if I was going to end up betting on the fight or not, but I'll fade Cowboy for sure. And I'll take Jim Miller and I'll parlay him with Muniz here. And I'll take him at the 1.95 parlay mark here. Moving on down, Brian Barberena. I like him here as well. You sniped him on me in the draft, looking at the pick'ems early, looking at the dogs early, getting me there. But I like him, and I'm going to take him here in the gambling picks and wash that one out for myself. We got I and Barber. I like this one to go long. The books have it at about 1.3 to go long as well. But trying to get some value on that one. Pereira and Strickland. Over 1.5 is about 1.5 on the odds there as well. I'm going to parlay these together to get some value for some even odds here now on this parlay. I like both of these fights to go long. Probably both go the distance, but I'll just take the value here at the over 1.5 for the Strickland Pereira fight. Speaking with Smelly earlier, we got the Smelly bet of the week here. So we're going to go O'Malley by KO. So I poked around. A couple of different books have it at different prices. So I seen it down to about even odds, about 2.0, but I found it at 2.4. So I'm definitely going to be playing that one at 2.4. A little bit extra units on this one here now. So I have a 0.8 bet to 1.92. Going down, we have Gabe Green. So we're fading the Ian Gary hype train. And we're going to take Gabe Green to put some brakes on that one there. Good value here. Found him at 2.41. And finally, we have the Manuel parlay. So Manuel, he likes Izzy by KO, and he likes Volk by decision. So I'm going to ride with Manuel on this one here. So Volk, I found him at 1.9. on a book there. I seen him as low as 1.7. Make sure to be shopping around for that value. Izzy by KO, found him at about 2.4 there as well. So I'm going to parlay these value plays together and see if Manuel's coming through with the solid advice here.
Love to see it. Hopefully that comes through. A lot of fun picks. If anything, should be an entertaining way to watch the fight. A lot of safer bets as well. So you should come up with a decent mix.
Yeah, tried to play a bit of everything here now. I know the card's pretty juiced, but it's going to be a big night. It's the season finale of Ed2Shed, Shed to Ed, whatever you want to call it. UFC 276. This is going to be the biggest card of the year. I just want to play as many fights as I can. I want to have some fun with this card.
Definitely going to be the most hyped card so far of the year for certain.
Absolutely.
Now, next couple of weeks, super low key. We got some fun events. Rafael dos Anjos, July 9th. There can only be one true Rafael in the lightweight division. Will it be dos Anjos or will it be Fiziev? That's one to keep an eye out for. And then we got the sloppy seconds. Both gentlemen have lost to Max Holloway, talking about Brian Ortega and Yair Rodriguez. We're going to be off, though, so check us out on the social media. We'll be kicking around, doing some stuff. Follow us on the Twitter, @Shed2Ed. Follow us on Instagram, @Shed2Ed.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a couple weeks hiatus here from the videos, but make sure to be following along on the social media there. We'll post our plays. You'll be able to tail us if we're doing anything. Fade us if we're not. Up to you. Play along, follow along, have some fun.